YouTubers, my name is Amber. I hope you are doing very well today. I've missed sitting down and chatting with you, so I wanted to film a tag video today, and the one that I'm doing is called the Pixie Jinx tag. It was a collaboration originally created by Jinxie and Glitter to Gaming. I will link both of their channels below. And where I first saw this was by a lovely YouTuber. Her name is Hafina. I will also link her channel with her answers to these questions below, because this is a fun tag, kind of get to know me sort of thing. So I highly suggest you do this so we get to know each other in the panning community and beyond. But there are 25 questions about what you prefer with your makeup products. And so let's go on and get to it. Question number 1, if you are on an island and you can only take one beauty product, what would it be? Well, I consider it a beauty product. I know some of you are probably like, what? But I would say coconut oil, because I could use that as a tanner enhancer, because if you put oil on your skin when you go out in the sun, I would use it as a moisturizer. Obviously, if I'm on an island, I'm probably not going to be worried about makeup if I can only take one beauty item, because how would I get it off? So I figured coconut oil would be nice and moisturizing against salt water and that sort of thing. So easy peasy, I guess. Number 2 is, what is your favorite color? If it's talking about clothing, I like black. I really love black because then it doesn't matter what kind of makeup I wear. I can make it work and then do pops of color with scarves or jewelry or earrings, whatnot. So I love black clothing. But if I'm going to pick a color like for makeup or flowers or things like that, I really love red. That is my ultimate favorite color, and then purple and teal are close seconds. Yeah, I guess they'd both share second. I don't know. But red is definitely a power color for me. I'm very attracted to it, and it makes me feel impulsive and daring and fun. So I have to have red and I have to have black in my life. Number 3, glitter or matte? Overall, I think I'd have to say matte. Kind of wish they had shimmer instead of glitter. I don't really do glitter anymore. I'm in my 30s now, and I just feel like it's kind of a little too over the top. Almost to the point of being a little bit juvenile on me. I know there are a lot of women that rock it and they do it very beautifully and it's extremely glamorous, but I am not one of those folks. So definitely I'd have to go matte, but I don't like to wear like all matte makeup. I have to break it up and have some shimmer or glitter, if you will. All right, number 4, which is better, lipstick or a lip gloss? Hands down, lipstick. I like that it's low drama because you don't have to worry about wind and hair getting in your lips, your lip gloss and smearing all over the place. You get a range of mattes and satins and, all sorts of colors and all that sort of thing. So I don't know. I'm just not a lip gloss fan. Like, I like popping it in the center of my lips to get a little bit of fullness, but I'm not a lip gloss person. So hands down, lipstick. Number 5, which is your favorite brand of nail polish? Right now, as I'm kind of project painting my polishes, I definitely have to say my favorite brand would be OPI. But Revlon comes in right behind that because I love the range of colors in both. I love that the majority of the time the polishes aren't streaky. I do have, kind of some negative comments on the, 50 Shades of Grey series because I've noticed that polish is a little bit streaky, but it could have just been the bottle that I purchased. So, but I love OPI. Number 6, favorite brand of eyeshadow and which color? I would have to say, let's do a favorite eyeshadow palette. And my holy grail of all holy grail looks that I love to wear is from the Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette. And it is the trio that has the matte pink, the lilac shade, and the matte purple. I absolutely adore that look. I get tons and tons of compliments whenever I wear it. So those 3 colors would have to be my favorite, not just out of that palette, but of all eyeshadow in general. Number 7 is, do you have a favorite perfume? I like Pure Grace from Philosophy, and I like Amazing Grace, and I have a couple of perfume samples that I like, but I'm not really a huge perfume fan. I often have eczema breakouts on like the inner portion of my elbows and stuff when I wear perfume, so it's really hard for me to wear different fragrances and things. But if I do decide to wear a fragrance, Inner Grace is another one that I tend to kind of gravitate towards too, but I'm just not a really big perfume wearer. But at the moment I am trying to pan a lot of my perfume samples. So I do like the Victor Rolf Flower Bomb and what is it, La Vie Belle from Lancome, I think is what it is another one of the ones that I like currently. Number 8, favorite mascara. My holy grail of holy grail mascara combinations is to wear the Lancome Cils Booster XL layered with the Bare Minerals lengthening and defining mascara with the Benefit Bad Gal Lash layered on top. It gives me the perfect amount of volume, the perfect amount of extra length so that you see my lashes under my frames, but it's not so over the top that I look like a hot clumpy mess. I haven't used that combination in quite a while because I wanted to move around and try other mascaras, and I really didn't want to have to spend that much on a mascara routine, especially now that I'm doing a no-buy. So it's been quite a while since I've had that combination, but that is my holy grail of holy grails to wear. Number 9, do you wear false lashes? No, I wear frames. That would be a hot mess. Because if I wore false lashes, they would constantly be in my frames. It would just, no. And also too, with my hooded eyes, putting that lash band, you know, it just kind of like, it makes the eyeliner look so over the top that you don't see any of the eyeshadow that I put on my lids. And so I'd rather have you see the eyeshadow and make that help my eyes sparkle instead of just going big and bold with my lashes. Number 10 is, have you ever worn lash extensions? And if not, would you? I personally have not worn lash extensions. I actually have thought about doing lash extensions, whether it's Latisse or going in and getting like a, you know, a procedure to go have them put in, but I don't know. I've noticed that now that I've had my kids, I really have a hard time wearing contacts. And so, you know, since I wear my frames every day, I don't really see a point to having crazy long eyelashes because they would get stuck on the top of my frames or they'd be hitting the lenses, and that just doesn't sound like a good time to me. So I probably wouldn't, but I have thought about doing something like Latisse. All right, number 11 is, what is your natural hair color? My natural hair color is actually a shade lighter than my current color. I do have naturally dark hair, but during the winter time, I really like to intensify it and make it a dark, cooler toned shade of brown because with my dark eyes and my darker eyebrows, I really have a better skin tone when I go with like a cooler, darker toned brown. It just looks a little silly and over the top if I do it in the summertime. So right now it is a shade darker, and I'm kind of debating about going back and doing highlights. I mean, you can see kind of the remnants of my highlights in my early videos when my hair was like insanely long. But now that it's really short, I think I might go back and do like the bronzy, auburn highlights, maybe some copper with a tad bit of blonde. But definitely I like the more subtle, natural look, but still have those pops of color that are very flattering for my skin tone. Which leads us into number 12. If you could dye your hair any color, what would it be? I honestly, if I could dye my hair any color, I would honestly want to go more red, like red highlights. I wouldn't want to go just straight up red because that would not be flattering on me whatsoever. But to have more red highlights that actually stick around, because I have a really, really hard time maintaining red highlights. They fade instantly. I don't know if it's just the chemistry of my hair reacting with the hair dye or whatnot, but I just cannot get red to stick around no matter what I've tried. So if I could dye my hair any color and it would stay that way, I would definitely want to do more red lowlights and different things in my hair because the effect is amazing. It just doesn't stick around. All right, number 13. Have you ever tried bright, crazy colors? If yes, what? This takes me back to about, I don't know, 8 years ago, and I tried going blonde. No, ma'am. That was awful. I actually one of my friends did hair, and, you know, she had a fantastic reputation of being a great colorist. And I went in there and I was like, I want to try blonde highlights. When I came out of that appointment, my entire head was platinum blonde with dark lowlights. It was a hot flippin' mess. Not cool. I hated it. It was so not flattering for me. It was awful. I will never, ever, ever go blonde again. I will never, ever do that again. It was so bad. And what made the experience even worse is after I was, you know, done looking at my hair in the mirror, I didn't know whether to cry because I knew that would make her feel bad or just be outright livid because my hair was so bad. I mean, it was awful. So, I mean, yeah, and I didn't feel like I could really do anything because she was a good friend, and I'm just like, it was such a nightmare. So, no. Number 14 is a smoky eye or a natural look. I'm going to say a smoky eye, and that is because when I wear my frames, my eyeshadow looks better if I do a smokier look. So that way you can actually see gradient effects with my eyes. I can make my eye color pop, and when I wear my frames, you know, I have to be more deliberate with my makeup. So a natural look just makes me look kind of like I didn't do anything because you wouldn't see it under my frames. So I definitely have to go with the smokier eye. All right, number 15 is, would you rather shop online or in store? I love malls. I love everything about malls. The smells, like when you walk past the doors of Bath and Body Works and everything just kind of hits you, and then you smell the food court, and then you got the perfume section at Macy's and the men's cologne section, and just general like people watching and all their weirdness smells. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, can you not tell I love malls? So I love to walk around malls. I love to browse and shop, but definitely when it comes to buying things, I prefer to shop online because I don't have to worry about my kids getting impatient and bored. I don't have to worry about necessarily getting distracted by everything else going on around me, because shopping for me is an experience. Like, I like to spend time. I like to look at everything before I make a decision. I'm not just a one and done kind of person. Like, I take my time. I really do. And so shopping online is more convenient for me, especially since I can use eBay. So I can shop online like once my kids are in bed. And especially I've noticed in the last couple of months, like when I shop for makeup, I'd much rather shop online, and I hate that. Because when I go in stores, I just don't feel like the customer service is up to par, especially when I go to the department stores. And even when I go in, you know, Sephora and Ulta, in the last couple of months, it's just the sales associates there have just been rather, I feel like the customer service is extremely lacking. Not to say that they aren't helpful, but they definitely are not as accommodating as they used to be. And if you have questions, they aren't as knowledgeable, I've noticed. Maybe that's just from me watching YouTube. I've had exposure to so many different things. When I go shop for makeup, I'm asking questions and they haven't heard of it. I think it should be a requirement if you work at a makeup counter that you need to watch YouTube. I don't know. What do you guys think on that? So, because I mean, seriously, we get exposed to so many things with all these beauty bloggers and hauls and release dates and all this stuff that, I mean, we are so much more educated, in my opinion, than sometimes the sales associates that we see that are just working at these counters. I don't know. That was a sidebar. I did not mean to do that. Online, online, online. All right, number 16 is, where do you buy most of your makeup? Gosh, wow. I guess this question doesn't really pertain to me this year because I'm on a no-buy at least until November. But I guess I don't mean for it to go on like the segue, but I do the most of my shopping at Sephora because I've been shopping there for a decade, and man, does that make me sound old right now. Sidebar. But, you know, it was just convenient for me to shop at Sephora because I have been going there for so long, but I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, maybe you feel this way too, but, you know, I've seen the rewards programs change so dramatically through the years that it is not a rewards program anymore. I mean, we're paying for samples. We're paying for all these freebies. And when you have VIB Rouge, the only perk you really get is getting to shop for makeup a little sooner than a beauty insider or somebody who's not in the rewards program. So it's not really, I don't know. Like, that's helping this no-buy be that much easier for me because I don't have the incentive that I used to. And, I mean, I'll still shop there. I'm going to maintain my VIB status because in November I buy my necessities for the year. I buy beauty blenders, Clarisonic brush heads, face wash, the whole 9 yards because I get the discount. To me, it is worth it to go to Sephora at that point. But I think from now on, I'm going to be shopping more at Ulta because not only can I go to a physical store immediately, but all the brands that I love at Sephora, I can find at Ulta. And I like that I can turn in my rewards points into actual cash back and not just samples that I have to spend more money to collect more points to buy more samples. Like, that whole point system is just so ridiculous to me, actually. It's just ridiculous. But I can honestly say that for the past decade, I definitely have shopped more at Sephora. I've quit shopping at department stores because, I mean, Sephora's pretty much run them out. It's hard to get help at counters, even when you go to, you know, like I live in Houston, we go to the Galleria. We have every makeup option available. I mean, you can buy Chanel, you can buy Guerlain, you can buy all these brands, but when you go to the department stores, the sales associates just seem kind of not interested in doing their job, or they're off busy talking to each other because most of the time we go to Sephora or we go to Ulta or we're shopping online to buy our makeup. We're not necessarily going to the department stores. So the customer service, like I said in the previous question, is not quite what it used to be, even if, you know, we watch YouTube and we're willing to spend quite a bit of money because we enjoy our makeup. It's just not what it used to be. So, and I think that my shopping habits are going to change in the future because, like I said, I mean, the rewards program is not really a rewards program anymore. It's just a way to get you in there and spend more money, and you think that you're getting a deal and you're really not. So, I don't know. That was kind of that was a tangent. I don't know. All right, number 17 is, are you wild or reserved when it comes to your style? I kind of go both ways. I go more wild with my makeup because I like to experiment with crazier colors. I like to do different combinations. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I really, really like bold lips. And, you know, for most of the moms that I see and, you know, women in my age range, if you will, you know, nude is kind of the thing. So when I come in wearing a bright red lip, it gets attention, you know, because it's out there. But when it comes to clothing, I'm definitely more reserved. I just feel like it looks a little silly if I try to do all the trends. Like I'm trying to dress like a teenager and I'm not. I've got kids, you know, it's just, I've kind of passed that point in my life that I'd rather look sophisticated and, you know, not matronly, but, you know, sophisticated and simple and have, you know, a very easy wardrobe and then do my pops with my makeup, but have it still be appropriate. So I guess you could say I'm reserved all the way around. I like a classic style, but I like a little bit of edge to it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, number 18 is a fun question, and that is, would you rather leave the house with no makeup on or be late? I think I'd rather be late. This is a tough question because, like, if it's leaving to go, you know, take my son to school in the morning and then go to the grocery store, I could care less. I mean, I feel better and get my day going with a lot more enthusiasm when I have my makeup on because I know that I'm putting my best foot forward and I feel great and put together. But yeah, I don't know. I think it entirely depends on what I'm doing. Like if it's going to church and things like that, I'd rather be late because I like to, you know, fix up and use my makeup. And since I'm project panning, I am, you know, very intent on using my makeup every day. So I will allot the extra time to get up and get ready. But, you know, if I'm just going to like run out of the house real quick, who cares? I mean, but yeah, I guess for the most part, I'd rather be late. Number 19, I think is a really fun question, especially for us to ask ourselves as project panners, because I think the way you answer this very succinctly describes how you look at your makeup collection. So the question is, what is the thing that you like most about makeup? And I thought pretty long and hard about this because I love the versatility of it. I love that we have options from drugstore to high-end at all price points, and we have all of these amazing things to try out. But the thing that I like most about makeup is that for me, it's all about, it helps build my confidence, and it can change something that could completely ruin my day and turn it into something positive. Like when I wake up in the morning and I have a huge breakout on my face, I don't have to worry about going out and showing that in public because I can pop some concealer on top of it. Or if I haven't slept all night because one of my kids was up sick or having night terrors, I can put on makeup and hide the fact that I am exhausted. I love the fact that I can brighten up, you know, sallow looking skin with some blush. Or, you know, if I'm feeling like I look really bloated that day, I can contour and slim out my face. I mean, it's just, I love, those are things that would normally kind of drag me down and make me feel like I don't want to leave the house because I don't want people judging me or having these negative connotations toward me. And makeup kind of fixes it. I guess is the phrase I'm looking for. You know, it just kind of temporarily fixes it, and it helps me to have my confidence to go out and be the positive person that I am and do things and be a part of life instead of sitting back at home away from the spotlight, if you will. All right, the next 3 questions are all kind of related to nails, which, you know, I'll talk about them, but nails are not really a huge priority for me in my beauty routine. But number 20 is, how about nail polishes and nail designs? I love to wear nail polish. I don't really do nail designs because it's not my thing. I think that they're adorable on other people and they can be very, you know, stylish and flattering. They're just not for me. So, which goes into number 21. When was the first time that you created a nail design? The only time I've ever created a nail design was the one time I attempted polka dots, and then I've done accent nails, but like I said, like, I would rather have a solid color of polish and have it all be uniformed and the same, and it works. And then number 22 is, how did it come out? The polka dots I made were cute. I mean, I did it with a toothpick. It looked really, you know, fun and spirited when I finished, but it's not my thing. So yeah, we'll just go with that. All right, number 23 is a really fun question. If you had $500, would you buy a lot of drugstore products or only a few high-end? Well, this is kind of how I do like when I shop the VIB sale at Sephora, because I save up all year long, and then I buy a gift card. So I'm technically like saving to have $500 to spend, and then I buy all my essentials with it. So I would say I would buy a few high-end, because if I had $500 to spend, you know, on makeup just for whatever, I would like to try Burberry shadows, Tom Ford. I would buy more luxury skincare. Yeah, because I mean, really, there are drugstore products that I love. Absolutely love, like Revlon lipsticks, Maybelline concealers. I love the Maybelline color tattoos. You know, I have tons of drugstore lip products and stuff across the board, but you know, if I just had $500 to blow on whatever I wanted to, I would definitely go high end. Ooh, number 24 is a really fun question. If you could go back in time to stop yourself from wearing a certain style of clothing or makeup, what would it be? I have a couple of things. First off, like the whole makeup thing, I would have, yeah. I talked about this in like my makeup story video that I did months ago, but I would definitely go back and shake myself silly on how I did my makeup. Yeah, because I mean, clothing wise, I was very trendy all through high school and college, and even when I got married and I worked, I was very trendy in the way I dressed, so I wouldn't really change what I would have done with my clothing, but definitely makeup, because when I started wearing makeup, it was a hot mess. But I think the worst thing I ever did, amongst the atrocities of like wearing powder that was way too dark and, you know, blush that was like circus clown red. God, I'm almost embarrassed to say this. This is why I'm laughing so hard at all of like the Marsala trends. Like the 90s are here with a vengeance. But it's when I wanted like a mauve-y lip, and so I don't even know what possessed us to do this, but a lot of my friends and I, we were trying to get through our eyeshadow, and so we would put chapstick on our lips and then layer like a mauve Marsala pinky brown color on top, and then layer lip gloss or chapstick. Just don't. I don't know who gave us that multitasking tip. It was not okay. Not okay. So, but I rocked that for the, you know, good part of my junior year. God, it was awful. So, yeah, I definitely would have gone back and kind of smacked myself to say, what are you thinking, girl? Like, not okay. Not okay. All right, our last question, number 25, is really, really good. And that is, which YouTuber is your biggest inspiration? This is not going to be a surprise to many of you. I'm sure you are already following her. But my most favorite YouTuber that I have watched in all of my years has been Emily Eddington. You know her as Emily Noel 83 or Beauty Broadcast here on YouTube. I appreciate her professionalism, and when I started watching YouTube years ago, I mean, I'd been shopping at Sephora for quite a while at that point, but I really appreciated that she showed you don't have to spend for high-end for absolutely everything. She was wearing drugstore makeup on the news when people were constantly scrutinizing how she looked, and, you know, she proved that over and over and over again, you could get quality looks at drugstore pricing, and I really appreciate that about her. And I also love the fact that she is my age, and it is so cool that now that she's a mom, that she's going to be stepping into the next world of YouTube, I guess, because that's what's interesting. Because I know, like, when I started watching YouTube was very young. It was a lot of teenagers, young 20s. I mean, I've always been on kind of like the middle to older range, and now that so many of us are coming in, and there's a whole range of people. You know, we've got people in their teens and people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond that want makeup videos. And so it's really neat to follow somebody with a channel like hers, where she is addressing skin during pregnancy and postpartum and anti-aging, when we actually start really having to address those issues, and not just because we stayed up too late partying or had a, you know, pulled an all-nighter cramming for an exam. It's really true exhaustion when you've been up, you know, for 8 weeks with a baby, and you've got serious bags under your eyes, and your skin's going through serious hormone changes. Because that's one thing that it's been kind of fun to see a lot of these YouTubers kind of talk about, because maybe you haven't hit it yet, but I know, like, once my friends and I turned about 25, we went through that massive skin freak out. I don't know, maybe we should have a whole, like, video series where we talk about topics like this, because you know, it's when I watch videos from YouTubers that are, you know, recommending anti-aging products and stuff, I'm like, girl, you're not even 25. You don't know. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you were sponsored to do this, or you're using it just because you can. You don't necessarily need to. But I love that, you know, there's a group of us that are all in the same age range, like in our 30s and beyond, because our skin needs are very different from what they were in their 20s. And so she is the ultimate professional in my opinion. I love that she's very straightforward with her reviews. I love that she is straightforward about, you know, treating YouTube as her career, and, you know, she's very honest with her reviews. And I love the fact that she still purchases the majority of her makeup, so she can talk about the pros and the cons and not feel like she has to cater to what needs to be said for a company to continue a business relationship with them. So that is it for this tag by Jinxie D and Glitter to Gaming. So I'm not going to tag anybody specifically, but if you do decide to do this video, I can't wait to see it. So go on and feel free to answer these 25 questions. I've got more coming your way, because I've finally picked the items for my 5x Cinco de Mayo challenge, and I'm going to have quite a few updates, and I'm going to film my first I'm on a new buy update. So lots coming your way. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be seeing you very, very soon. Bye.